guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Gurnoor, and if you're new here, welcome. So today I have a very exciting video that I want to share with all of you, which is not usually posted on my regular content, but it's going to be a little continuation from the first video that I posted. It is going to be on my modeling journey. So in this first video, I posted the modeling tips and how to start your modeling career in 2024, and many of you guys really liked it. So I really want to make a second part just telling my modeling journey, because trust me, it has been such a tough one. I've went through so many experiences, horrifying stories, and I just want to share with all of you and just give tips alongside with that. And I just think this is also going to be great reminders when you guys are going to castings and stuff like that and getting started in the modeling industry, because I feel like I did so many things wrong, but I want to remind you guys all on what things that I would personally do better if I wanted to redo this whole entire experience again. So without further ado, let's get started in this video. Okay, so starting off, I'm going to give a little backstory first off on the starting of my modeling career and how I got introduced in this industry. So originally, this was time in 3 years back, so probably in 2021, I'll say, yeah. And at that time, it was me, my sister, and my mom who were all bored at quarantine, because my sister was, I think, starting her freshman year while I was still in 4th grade. So we decided to do a little TikTok beginning of our account. So I was honestly never thinking about becoming a model. I just want to get famous in some type of way. And me, my mom, and my sister were just all really bored at home, so we just decided to start our own TikTok account, and we would just post the most silliest videos, and it was nothing too crazy, honestly. We didn't take it to much offense. And if you guys don't know, I am not a TikTok person. I just don't like the idea of that type of platform. I know a lot of people do enjoy it and have made such successful careers on it, but seriously, on your personal liking. So I figured out that TikTok was not working for us, so that's when I started my own Instagram account. On my Instagram page, I was really new to everything, but I would just post random photos of myself. I didn't really know how to manage my account properly. My mom was helping me with it, so we were both really confused in the process. So now it's my 9th birthday, and at this time, we're taking pictures for Instagram and posting and whatever. My mom's like, "Hey, Gurnoor, honestly, you should become a model." And I don't really take it to I never really knew what to do to my career at that time. And many people, when they just hear a job, oh, you should become a lawyer, you should become an accountant, I know a lot of people don't take it offense, but at that time I did not know what I wanted to do. So I was like, okay, maybe modeling is something that I want to try out. Since I always wanted to become famous anyways, maybe modeling was a great way to start out. So then I decided that maybe I'm gonna try out modeling, and that day I made a whole entire damn paragraph of notes and tips of modeling, and trust me, none of them came to any works, but it was pretty fun. And then the next day I told my sister where I wanted to apply to agencies, and this is where hell broke loose. So this is the next day now, and we're applying to agencies, and we're applying to every candidate agency there ever freaking is. And this is kind of my first mistake that I committed, because I wasn't very open about my choices. I was kind of just applying to one type of location of agencies, which I don't recommend doing. You should always apply to wherever honestly you think is most suitable for you. At that time, obviously I was young, and my sister didn't know about the industry, neither did I. No one was a part of it before, so we were all just trying out new things. So after many applications, I did get rejected a lot, I am going to admit it, but then I have my interview with my first ever agency. So this agency, I was so happy when I got the email that I'm going to get interviewed, because I thought, okay, if I get an interview, I can be selected, right? So I didn't prepare at all for this interview, because I just didn't know how. And when the interview came, if I look back now, I did completely embarrass the living crap out of myself. The casting director was like, what the hell? But then they said that, okay, in 2 weeks, if you're selected, you will get an email. So the 2 weeks come, and on this day, I am shaking, because I'm I wonder if I will get an email or not. So hours pass by and I'm not getting an email. So I am crying my freaking ass out. I am looking at videos on what I did wrong. I am emailing the agency like crazy because at that time I did not know how to take rejection, okay? I was a little girl, cut me some slack here. But also I was just like, oh my gosh, how can I get rejected? Next day comes and they did select me actually. I was just very impatient, but probably also selected me because I was acting a little cray-cray, but that doesn't really matter. So then after that, we go for my first ever shoot, and I am so excited. We even hosted a party in that living room. A lot of deja vu, I know. And we put up candles and cut a cake, and it was just honestly such a great experience, and it brought me honestly where I am today. So that was my first ever modeling agency I went into, and then after that, I am going to now explain another part of my modeling journey, which was probably changed the whole dynamic of the career. So after some time, months go by, and I am receiving auditions from the agency that I just came from, and I'm pretty happy from all the work I'm getting, and I'm really happy with all my casting calls. But then it comes to a point where I'm like, okay, maybe I want to try applying to another agency. So I look up another agency online, and this one's also located in Canada. So I'm like, since it's pretty local to me, I'm gonna just try in and maybe try to apply here. So honestly, I'm pretty sure had like 3 parts of their application process. It was your application, and then they would probably like ask you to come in an interview if they were interested in you, and then it was actual the acceptance part. So I like just kind of applied like at midnight for fun. Like I didn't think too much of it because I was applying to a bunch of agencies, and that one, which I really want to get into, but I didn't really have any hopes. The next day, when I receive an email saying that I'm accepted for an interview, I'm like, what the actual frick? Because I'm like, this is a huge agency and I would really like to be part of it. Or at that time, at least I thought it was a huge agency. So we go to this interview, and let me tell you, this is exactly what's going to happen when you are getting SCAM, scammed, okay? Because this casting director scammed the living crap out of me. Trust me on this. So we're going for the interview, right? Everything looks fine, but then when we walk in, right off the bat, she is like really nice and everything, which is pretty normal, right? But then after that, we're kind of sharing stories with her, our experiences. But then it comes to a point where she was like, oh, like I'm interested in you, but I would also like to cast your sister. Mind you, this woman was charging us $500 of fees to come in her agency. What? So at this time, I didn't know that your agency should not be charging you any amount to do any of this, okay? Your stuff should come in a package because they are the agency that's wanting you. They're coming getting work from you. Why should you be paying them? That doesn't add up to me. So right when she cast me, she cast my sister. And this was a very like weird process to me. I'm like, why the hell are you casting my sister when you barely even know this girl? And trust me, she's gorgeous. My sister is. But then my sister already had said no. But she's like, no, think about it. She just manipulated her into going in the modeling. So we spend over $1,000 of a shoot, hair and makeup, and just getting in the agency in general. And she tells me, if you take this offer right now, the next day we're going to send you 2 submissions. And I'm like, oh my God. And my mom's like, oh my God. And everyone's like, okay, this is a great opportunity for us. I really thought this stuff would work out, but in all defense, it really didn't. So after we go to our shoot, we don't receive at least 8 months of no casting calls, no jobs. I think my sister got like 3 auditions while I got 1. And whenever I would call them to ask them, email me what they submitted me for, absolutely nothing. So then after that, we decided to go ahead and meet this woman because we want to know what's up. We want to know what's going on. And she's a master manipulator, okay? She knows how to talk through her skill, and a lot of agents would know how to do this, especially the scammy ones, okay? And we are like, what is going on? Like, why aren't you giving us any work? And she just master manipulates us into her stories and her personal experiences. She's like, oh, gurnoors, this agency's hot, this like industry is hard, but we're submitting you. I promise we're doing the work. But seriously, this woman never caused me anything but just putting down my self-esteem. If I could tell you how toxic this woman is, you wouldn't believe it. Every time I would meet her, she was like, oh, at least you got skinnier, or at least now you look like this. She would comment on my weight so much. Oh my god, I can't even express it at this point. She was just horrifyingly mean. And this is the part where in my life I was just completely down, because every time I'd meet her, she's like, at least you're getting skinnier, at least we don't need to put you in plus size anymore, or something like that. And I'm like, what? Shortly after this agency, I got an eating disorder. So this was a time where I thought, in the modeling industry, I'm not ever going to receive any work if I am not skinny. So I went through a very horrifying stage in my life where I just absolutely broke my relationship with food. I was struggling so much in my life. I would get mad over the smallest things. I would literally just be like so angry all the time, so pissed off. And I was just at a really bad mental state because I was putting so much pressure on my mind. And this was now in 5th grade. And I think every one of my friends watching this would probably know I was horrifying mean and also just crying every minute of the day. And that was just a time for me that I was like, oh my god, I made the worst mistake in my life starting this career. Because wherever I would go, or every time I would meet this agent, she would just comment on my weight. And I just don't get why I didn't quit or get out of the toxic environment. But I thought that was the only way you'd get in modeling, if you're petite and you're a small size. But that is not true at all. Like, they accept diversity, inclusivity, everything, right? And your body should not identify who you are. But for me at that time, it did, and it caused me where I had an eating disorder and just a bad time. So shortly after that, I did not do modeling for a few months. I stopped taking it so seriously, which honestly I do really regret, but honestly it was also for the best of me, because I wanted to take a break from the industry and come back and be stronger and be able to know who I was. So I took a lot of that time to be able to gather myself and be able to expand my opportunities more and be able to have less of the like momentum and thinking of, oh, my size only identifies me and whatever. So then months passed by, I'm not getting work from this agency and I'm not receiving work myself. So then this is a time where I'm like, okay, now I'm over a really hard stage of my life. I am recovered, and this is a time where I gotta go in the prime. So now it is December 2023, and this is last year when I decided that I want to start my own first fashion show. I want to go on the runway. So I decided to enter this fashion show called Toronto Kids Fashion Week, and I was super excited for this show and this casting. So one day before that, I had this tournament, and I was so tired from that day that I was so scared I won't be able to perform well on my casting. But trust me guys, the way I worked for this casting call was like, what the actual frick. I would walk 20 times from here and all the way across to practice my model walk, and I thought I ate at that time. It really didn't, okay? We just ignore that part though. And I was so excited. So the next day we go to this casting call, and I am super nervous because there's a bunch of girls there, and I thought I wouldn't be able to get a spot. And for me at that time, like, the amount of girls that are there don't even compare to how many I see now. But at that time I was like, holy crap, this is so many girls, how am I supposed to get in? So I just performed my best ever walk that I ever can do, and I am so nervous. I don't know if the casting directors are impressed by me. And at that time, obviously, I was being recovered from a hard stage in my life and so many rejections and so many negative feedback. I was still scared to redo this whole entire modeling experience again, but I just took my chances with it and I just waited out. So now they told me that in 2 weeks they will tell me if I am accepted or not. I get an email at midnight, and I thought this whole entire day that I won't be able to receive an email, but when I do, I am crying of tears of joy. I was in the middle of the workout, and my mom runs upstairs. She's like, gurnoors, you just received an email for Toronto Kids Fashion. We got accepted. And I'm like, what? No, I didn't. And I'm crying tears of joy because this is my first ever runway, and this is huge to me. and I am so happy. So that was the first ever type of runway that I ever did, and I won't ever forget the experience. It was the best time of my life. And then shortly after that, in May again, I decided to do another season of Toronto Kids Fashion Week. This time my walk improved a lot, and first time I walked for a designer called Spona Span. Second time I walked for Suzy Q Jules, and both designers were absolutely amazing, and I just loved the experience overall. And that is when I decided that I wanted to honestly do modeling, mostly in runway especially, and this is where the prime time of modeling comes, where I am chasing my dream. Now, basically, I am preparing to go on my Mexico vacation, but before that, I have decided to make a list of a bunch of things that I want to sign up for after I come back. So I made a list of another fashion show, this agency, and then like a bunch of other sites I want to sign up for to receive more casting calls and stuff. So this one agency, I am not going to say the name, but they were basically located in the USA. But the thing is, they kind of accepted models worldwide, and they gave casting calls worldwide. At that time, this was a huge opportunity for me, and they looked like a great agency overall. Like, I didn't expect anything bad coming from them, especially from the fact where they post a lot of empowering and being confident, stuff like that. So I was like really happy with the choice that I made. I thought that, like, you know, this is going to be great for me. So when I come back from my vacation, I decided to sign up an interview call with one of the head directors of the agency there. So this was back in August, and then in September I have my interview with them, and this woman was, I think, one of the most rudest people I've ever met off the bat. So the interview was supposed to be 30 minutes long. That is what I signed up for. There was a 15-minute option and 30-minute option. I wanted to make sure I signed up for the 30-minute option because I wanted to express myself, show who I was. But most importantly, I also did not wear any makeup that day because they always tell you to come with a natural face. That's also what was written in the email. So following the instructions, that's what I did. But when I come in, she gives me this whole entire dirty stare, and she just thinks that she saw a literal freaking lion out of the desert. And I'm already feeling a little less confident now because she's looking at me like she just already off the bat does not want to accept me. So I keep going on the interview, and then after that she asked what my ethnicity is and my culture. So I come to tell her that I'm Punjabi Sikh because I'm not going to hide who I was. That's exactly why I signed up for a longer interview. Then and there, she looks at me like, what? Like, did you not hear what I said, girl? Am I speaking Japanese to you? And I'm like, oh, I am Punjabi Sikh. Like, yeah, that's my culture. And she just says like, oh, okay. And then after that, she's like, all right, well, whenever you have time, send me over your portfolio and your digitals, and we will just continue on our conversation then. I already had this gut feeling where I was like, I am not getting in this agency no matter what. But then I decided to leave my thoughts, and I decided to keep on going with my portfolio, and I sent it over to her. I think at least 5 times. I tried emailing her so many times and no response. I was ghosted out, guys. Okay guys, at this time, I wanted to grow my platform anyways. And when I saw Kids Casting, I was like, okay, this is a place where you get casting calls without being signed with an agency. This is exactly what I need. Because agencies weren't giving me enough work, and I wasn't getting enough appreciation in the industry that I needed, and not enough for me to handle and grow my career on. So I decided to join Kids Casting, and I am submitting to myself on a bunch of things, and I come across this one specific opportunity which was the pageant of Miss Junior Teen Canada Nation Universe. And I was like, oh, I want to start maybe pageantry. I've always loved Princess and Tiaras since I was younger. It was my favorite show to watch, and pageantry was always something that I want to pursue in. I just didn't know if there was good pageants in Canada at the time. But when I see this, it immediately clicks to me because it says sponsorships, appearances, fashion shows, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to sign up for this, but there's no way I'm getting in. So I go to the interview, and this interview completely changed my life, guys. There was a bunch of girls back to back. That day, my boss, she had interviewed 150 girls from my category, and I was one of the only ones from then that got selected to compete in the pageant of Miss Junior Teen Canada Nation Universe. So when I get accepted, I am like, holy crap, I just got accepted in a pageant, like such a big company, and I am like, this is going to be life changing to me. So I, after that, decided that I am going to prepare as much as I can for this pageant, but I had no chance of, I thought, winning. So I get a pageant coach, I start doing fundraising, I'm advocating for women's empowerment, supporting a charity, and I'm doing all the pageant things. But then in October, my boss gave me opportunity to come on the billboard of New York Times Square, and that words just coming out of my mouth still feels so surreal to me because I just can't believe it still. So I was able to come on the billboard for 1 month in New York Times Square and also become on the cover of Gemro magazine. So after that, I also had a publication that went to 560 media channels, and then I participated in their Super Chic Toronto Fashion Week show. I went to their New York Fashion Week show, and then I also had the opportunity to be able to do more publications and so many more opportunities, and that is just really where my career started. And I also grow so much my following after that, and if I never went on the website, my life would never be able to have so many accomplishments in my career. So I'm just so thankful that I started pageantry, and was also just a reason and a reminder to all of you to start things that you guys might not even see yourself doing, because now I am competing for nationals in Florida in November, and I have such an opportunity now given to me that I can't tell you guys yet, but it's coming out so soon, and I can't wait to tell you guys all, because it just proves to you on how much your life can change in such a less time. So I'm going to end this video right here. If you guys did enjoy, please share to subscribe, like, share, and comment. I want to let you guys all know that this is just such a starting and beginning of my journey of modeling, and I have so much more to get through. But I'm just so thankful for all the experiences I've gotten to have, and so many more to come. And also just want to remind you all that never give up your dreams, to always keep going no matter what, because good things can happen all the time when you keep your passions up and you make sure you have the ability to do it and have the motivation. I promise you everything will happen if it's in your hands, and God will support you no matter what. And that's all I want to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please sure to follow my Instagram and my threads, because I have a lot of exciting content coming up. I've been saying this for a long time, but trust me, these projects are really worth the wait. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.